Hope you're well. Hope you're staying at home, and I hope you're, more importantly, staying safe. So tonight I've got some. I'm going to do some grilled tuna steaks with. I'm going to make a little bit of tapenade, and then we're going to mix that tapenade. I've got some Jersey pearls. We're going to crush them down with some olive oil, bit of butter, and then mix the tapenade through. And then we're going to do a variation of like a Nicoise vinaigrette. So I'm going to take some red onions, reduce them in balsamic, add some olive oil, and then add some cherry tomatoes to that. So it's going to be like a warm vinaigrette with the crushed potatoes, with the tapenade, and then we're going to grill the tuna steaks on the grill. Didn't have any basil tonight, so I'm using coriander, but if you've got basil, then use basil. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on and make tonight's supper. These are the ingredients you're going to need for tonight's grilled tuna steak with tapenade, crushed Jersey Royals, and Nicoise vinaigrette. So for the tapenade, we're going to need about 50 grams of black olives, 1 teaspoon of capers, 4 anchovy fillets, and some olive oil. For the crushed potatoes, we're going to need some Jersey Royals, about 400 to 500 grams of Jersey Royals, so 100 grams of butter, and about 100 ml of olive oil. For the vinaigrette, we're going to need a red onion, 1 red onion, about 300 grams of cherry tomatoes, and some balsamic vinegar, and some fresh coriander. For the tuna steaks, we need 4 200 gram tuna steaks. Again, we're going to cook them with some olive oil and some sea salt. So for the Jersey Royals, I've washed the Jersey Royals. I've just put some cold water in there. I'm just going to add some a generous pinch of salt to that water. That's 2 generous pinches. And then we're just going to put them on the stove and lid on, and we're probably going to cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then we're going to drain off the water and then keep them in this little pot here until we crush them with our tap. So guys, we're going to make our homemade tapenade now. So what we're going to start the tapenade with is some salted anchovy fillets. I'd say about 4 or 5 salted anchovy fillets. And don't throw away the oil, because we're going to use the oil in the tapenade. We'll use that oil up in the tapenade. So salted anchovy fillets. Just a touch of salt, guys, not too much, because remember the anchovies are into a paste. Then I'm going to add 50 grams of pitted black olives into that paste, and then just mash that up. So you just want a pestle of mortar. I'm using that. So that's our olive smashed up. I'm just going to add the oil from the anchovies, and again just mix that up. This smells great, guys. I've got the anchovies in there, I've got the capers in there, it's salty. It's going to work so well with the tuna and the crushed potatoes. So I'm happy with that. So that's our homemade tapenade there. So that's ready now to add to the crushed potatoes when they're ready. So for our Nicoise vinaigrette, guys, I've finely diced 1 onion. So 1 finely diced onion into a pan. And what we're going to add to that onion is 100 ml of balsamic vinegar. So what we're going to do with that is we're just going to reduce that on the stove until all the vinegar has reduced into the red onion. We want the vinegar to become sweet as well as sour. So I'm going to stick that on the gas and then reduce that down. and that red onion will take in all the flavour of the balsamic, all the sweetness, and it'll make the onion nice and dark as well. So I'm going to put this on the stove, and then we're just going to reduce that till everything is reduced down. If you don't have a red onion, use a shallot. I would have preferred to use a shallot, but I didn't have any shallots, so I used the red onion, but red onion is equally as good. Just want to quickly show you the onions that we reduced in the balsamic there. So there we have it, guys. So all the vinegar is reduced down, and the onions have taken on this really, really dark, really nice, lovely colour. So that's for our vinaigrette. So that's the balsamic being reduced with the onions. So that's for our vinaigrette. So our Jersey Royals are ready. Jersey Royals, lovely, lovely, lovely flavour. There's a very short season on the Jersey Royals, but if you can get them because they are fantastic. So Jersey Royals have been boiling for about 15 to 20 minutes, guys. So in there, I'm going to add 50 grams of butter, like so. I'm going to add 25 ml of olive oil, and then I'm going to take just a masher and then mash these up. Again, guys, keep the skins on. Skins where all the flavour is. That's where all the goodness is at. So just mash them up gently. You want to break it. You want to break all the potatoes up, but you still want a bit of texture there as well. I think last week I did it with I used a fork. This is just obviously a lot quicker than using a fork, and everybody's got one of these at home. So we have our crushed potatoes, which I've crushed with a potato masher, and we've got our 50 grams of butter and our 25 grams of olive oil. So to that, guys, I'm going to add our tapenade. The tapenade that we made with the olives, the capers and the anchovies. So all in there. And the thing about this tapenade is, you could make lots in advance and keep it, and then just keep it in your fridge. But it's great with any sort of fish, really, especially the Mediterranean fish. So I'm just going to mix that tapenade in with the crushed potatoes, and it smells great, guys. It really does smell fantastic. Not going to add any seasoning to this. There's quite a lot of seasoning in the tapenade, and we actually seasoned up the potatoes as well. But this looks lovely. And it smells lovely. You get the anchovy coming through, the olive oil coming through, the capers are coming through. It smells great. So I'll just show you guys. So that's our crushed potatoes with tapenade. So I'm going to pop the lid on that, and then that's going to stay warm until we prepare a vinaigrette and cook the. Hi guys, welcome back. So we're just gonna cook our tuna. I thought I'd bring the camera over here so you can see the tuna cook better. So we're going to take a little bit of olive oil, and then just give it a nice smear on the tuna. Now the tuna doesn't take much cooking, guys. You know, we want to get a nice bar mark on it and a nice char, and then we want to be serving the tuna, you know, rare. You want to have it nice and pink in the middle. So salt on the tuna. And again, the grill is nuclear hot, guys. Nuclear hot. Very similar to how we cooked the steaks the other day there. So we'll just let them get a nice char and a nice bar mark on that, and then we'll turn them over and do the same on the other. Hi guys, welcome back. So now it's time to turn our tuna. They're looking great. They're looking great. So as you can see in there, guys, we've got a nice char on that tuna. So we're going to do the same to the other side, a nice crisscross. Hi guys, so tuna steaks have come off. I'm just gonna let them rest for 1 minute. So I'm just gonna finish off the dressing. So here we have the onions with the balsamic vinegar. We're just gonna take some olive oil, about 100 ml guys of olive oil. And then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna warm this back. We're just gonna warm it gently on the stove there. We're just gonna warm it gently. We're not gonna get it too hot, we're just warming it through. We're making a nice warm vinaigrette. I've halved my cherry tomatoes, probably about 200 grams here guys. Remember it's for 4 people. So about 200 grams of cherry tomatoes halved. I've got about 50 grams of olives that have been halved, de-seeded, pitted. And I've got some fresh coriander here. So I'm just gonna, how I cut the coriander is guys, I just take the leaves out separately and I just roll the coriander up, and then we're just gonna, what we call a chiffonade. So it's let the knife do the work, and we just want really, really nice thin strips of coriander. Nice sharp knife guys, that's what you need, so the coriander doesn't get bruised. So that's our fresh coriander, our olives, and our... Alexa, stop. Alexa was answering the questions there. So, coriander, thank you Alexa. Coriander, tomato, olives. So, I've got my vinaigrette there. So I've just warmed that through guys. You can just see it there. So, I'm gonna add my tomatoes. And just stir that through. Smells great, the balsamic smells great guys, it really does. I'm going to add my olives. I'm going to add my coriander. And then just a tiny pinch of sea salt. There you go. There you have it, look, see? Can you see that from there? So we're just gonna mix that in. Oh, it smells great, guys. So again, it's a warm vinaigrette, guys. Warm vinaigrette, so last minute, yeah? So I'm happy with that. That's good to go. So now we're gonna start dressing our dish. Let's have a little clean down. So we have our plate. I'm gonna use a cutter tonight. Don't have to use a cutter, but we're gonna use a cutter tonight. We have our crushed potatoes with our homemade tapenade. And again guys, even this smells great. I can smell the anchovies, the capers. It smells amazing. So there we go, potatoes in the cutter, off. Now, we are now going to put the tuna on top of the potato. And the tuna, guys, you know, it's still nice and pink in the middle. You know, it's really, really pink, you know. So, bit of sea salt on top of there. And then we're going to take our vinaigrette, guys. Beautiful. We've got the olives, we've got the balsamic onions, the tomato. It smells amazing. And then we're just going to dress the plate like so. Ay caramba. Oh, if you could smell this, guys, if you could smell it. So a little bit of a clean. So there we have it, guys. That's our seared tuna steaks with tapenade crushed potatoes and a warm Nicoise vinaigrette. Sorry. So as always, it's good night. God bless. Stay safe. Stay home and cook at home. And we will see you tomorrow. Enjoy.